Hello everyone. Have you ever, when you have eaten a food, have you ever wondered how does this food become energy? How does this big particle of food becomes a smaller molecule that gives your body nutrition, right? Today we are going to uncover this. So, do you know that the digestion process has two major steps, the chemical process, chemical digestion, and the mechanical digestion. In our last class, we have talked about the mechanical digestion. Today, we are going to cover the chemical digestion. When we think about mechanical digestion, we are chewing the food is going to our stomach, it is churning, and then in our intestine segmentation occurs and the food breaks down into smaller particles. However, in this mechanical process, the food just becomes smaller, it does not change its chemical structure. So, this huge molecule cannot be absorbed by our intestine or our body. Our cells will not get the proper nutrition. For this, we need the chemical digestion. The moment you are eating a bread, the digestion process occurs. However, when you are chewing it, the mechanical digestion is occurring. But when the saliva mixes with it and the food becomes sweeter, it means that the chemical digestion have started. So, if we think about it, chemical digestion breaks down food using enzymes and digestive juices. It turns complex molecule into simple nutrients so that our body can absorb it. And then it happens, the things that happen in our mechanical digestion, it happens in the chemical digestion too. It happens in the mouth, the stomach, and the intestine. So, in the mouth, only the carbohydrate digestion occurs. To understand this process, if you want to know if it actually occurs, you can take a spoonful of rice and then chew it a bit and keep it in your mouth for some time. Then you'll see it starts to feel a bit sweet. It is because carbohydrates are sugars. So, sugars are sweet. When it is breaking down, the taste is coming out. That's why we feel it sweet. So, now if we think about the enzyme level, the salivary amylase enzyme works in this case. It degrades the starch, which is a carbohydrate, into maltose. After that, you're gonna eat the food, right? You're going to swallow it and it will go from your esophagus to your stomach. Over here, it is an acidic environment, and the enzymes that work in this environment is also works in the acidic pH. Now, there is a zymogen, which means that it is inactivated, it needs activation. It is pepsinogen. When the hydrochloric acid comes, the pepsinogen becomes pepsin, which then degrades the proteins into polypeptides. There is also gastric lipase, which degrades lipid into fatty acids and glycerol. However, we cannot call this a significant step because the main degradation that occurs is in the small intestine. And then the coagulated milk proteins also degrade by the renin enzyme. It is seen in the infants mainly. Now, a fun fact for you is that though hydrochloric acid is so acidic, why does not it damage our cells, right? It is because of some mucus that is secreted from the cells. Now we are going to move on to the last step, which is the main site of digestion process, which is the small intestine. Now you're going to ask, why am I calling this the main site, right? It is because all of the food like the carbohydrates, proteins and lipids, everything is being digested in this step. The pancreatic amylase, which comes from the pancreas, degrades the starch into maltose. The maltase, lactase and sucrase degrades the maltose, lactose and sucrose into glucose. For a fun fact is that lactase is an enzyme. If it is not present in your body, you are going to be lactose intolerant. Now, the trypsin and chymotrypsin degrades the polypeptides into peptides. However, peptides are not the smallest form of amino protein. The amino acids are. So, to degrade it further, the peptidase enzyme works. And the pancreatic lipase works in triglyceride. Pancreatic lipase, triglyceride is broken down to fatty acids and glycerols. Also, the bile degrades the lipids too. Now, so we can understand how the enzymes work. Now, you might ask, why do we need enzymes, right? It is because even if the mechanical digestion occurs, without the enzymes, it will take thousands of years for our body to properly digest the food. That is why enzymes is so important. So next time when we eat our favorite food, you have to understand you're not just eating, you're creating a chemical process, a biological process in your body. Thank you so much.